Good morning, scholars, and welcome to Lesson 1.2, Algebra Review Part 2. So I'm going to go through the two examples, and you're going to do let me go back. You're going to do the practice on Delta Math by yourself. You're going to test it with the mastery check in Canvas by yourself after you watch this video. All right, so we're going to do three-step linear equations today. And example number 1 says to solve for x, negative 13x plus 10 equals negative 8x minus 20. So our first step, just like with the two-step equations, is to draw our line through the equal sign. I'm going to draw my line like that. And now I have variables on both sides. That's what makes this different. That's what makes it 3 steps. So I have negative 13x and I have negative 8x. I'm going to cancel out the smallest variable because I think that makes things easier, but you can pick either one. So I'm going to cancel out the smallest one, which is negative 13x, and I canceled out by doing the opposite, which is plus 13x. And I'm going to go ahead and do it to both sides. And then once I do that, those 13x's over here cancel out, and 10 is brought down. Negative 8x plus 13x is 5x, and that minus 20 is being brought down. All right, next step, I'm going to cancel out the addition and subtraction. So this is now a two-step equation. So just like before, I look for the side with the x on it and what's being added or subtracted, and it's that minus 20. So to cancel out, I'm going to do the opposite, which is plus 20 on both sides. That leaves me with 10 plus 20 is 30 on the left here. And these 20s cancel out, so I got 5x. And now my last step here is to cancel out the multiplication division. This is saying 30 is equal to 5 times x. So what's the opposite of times 5? That would be divide by 5. I'm going to do it to both sides. Cross those out, and x is equal to 30 divided by 5 is 6. So it's the same as before. I'm still trying to get x by itself by doing the opposite to both sides until I get just x is equal to a number. So let's look at example number 2. So we're going to solve for x again. Negative 11x plus 4 equals negative 7x plus 24. So first step, draw my line. I'm going to pick the smaller variable, which is negative 11x, or you could pick negative 7x if you want. You're just going to have to deal with more negatives, and if I choose a smaller one, I'm going to have more positives. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel that out. The opposite of negative 11x is positive, so I'm going to plus 11x right underneath. Notice how I'm lining it up. I'm going to put it right underneath this one too. So again, notice how I'm lining the variables up. Variables go with variables, numbers go with numbers. So these cancel out, and I'm left with just 4. And now negative 7 plus 11 gives me positive 4. So when I combine these, I get 4x. Because you take the coefficients and don't forget to put the x back on there. And now plus 24 is brought down. And now this is back to a two-step equation, so it's being added or subtracted. It's that plus 24. The opposite is minus 24. See, I'm putting the numbers underneath the numbers like that. 4 minus 24 gives me negative 20. These 24s cancel out, and the 4x is brought down. And my last step, this is over here saying times 4, right? So the opposite of times 4 is divide by 4. Do it to both sides. That way I can cancel out those 4s. And let's do the left side, sorry. Negative 20 divided by 4 gives you negative 5. Then you cancel those out and you're just left with x. So x is negative 5. Or if you want to switch it, which is what I was about to do, that's fine too. You just get x is equal to negative 5. All right, scholars, so you're going to go ahead and try the practice on Delta Math. We're going to skip all these triads because if you're watching this, you probably weren't in class that day. So go ahead and try the practice on Delta Math, the mastery check on Canvas. If you have any questions, try to catch me next class. All right, scholars, see you next class. Bye.